Good morning and welcome back to Video Diary on the Farm. We're all feeling nice and refreshed. We've just had the weekend off. We got caught up with combining all the cereals and that what was fit anyway to do. But anyway, this week they'll all be ready to grab, hopefully. Maybe there might be one field of spring barley what might not be still fit, but anyway, touch wood, it will be. So yeah, with 2 fields of wheat left and 2 fields of spring barley at Risby and 1 at Melton. So we're not a lot to do. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video and we'll catch you later. Just to add, in this week's video there's some combining footage from last week as well, so don't think that we've got a lot of wheat. As I said, there's only 2 fields, but I've taken some footage from the end of last week which I didn't get a chance to put on. Anyway, we're here with the Qualidiscs, you can see behind, and we're in a field I sprayed off. It was failed FSI because it come too dry, so we round upped it off. And I'm just Qualidiscing it now, and then George is coming in to drill it with the Vadestad. So as you can see, it's still very dry. There's no moisture really. You can see from the dust flying. But yeah, we're having to do this. We're going to drill it with the Vadestad rather than the Opco Heaver, what we did last time, because there's a fair bit of trash about. I've sprayed it off, as you'll have seen in an earlier video. But yeah, we're just chopping it up now, and then we shall say George is coming to drill it. But we do need some rain. That is what we need, some rain. This field I Qualidisced, been rolled, made it better. Now George is drilling it with a Vadestad. So yeah, still dust flying. When we get some rain, it'll grow. Anyway, after George had drilled it, we rolled it back down again firmly. So the seed will just sit there and wait, and it'll be up and away before you know it once it's rained. Another day, another field. Just opening up another one. Yeah, Andrew's had a bit of a total up, and as from this morning, with about 200 acres of wheat left, and nearly 300 acres of spring barley left to cut, and then the winter beans, which I can't think off the top of my head, but I think there's just under 100 acres of winter beans to cut. Now spring beans, I'll get it right, spring beans. So yeah, we're a day or 2 cutting yet, but we shall be stood for some of the spring barley. It'll be another week away. Well, maybe next week we can get to it to Elsham. There's some there what will have to ripen a bit more. Yeah, if you remember what we did earlier on in the spring, Dave went round with the gator with a nozzle spraying a sterile strip off around the outside of every field. Not only does it stop the grass weed ingressing into the fields and that, it also makes opening up fields when you combine it easier, because there's a definite path for the divider, the edge of the divider to pass down the gap. So it makes opening fields up a lot quicker, because anybody who knows, often you'll get cleavers or rubbish growing into the field, and it blocks your divider up, especially if it gets damp at night when you're opening the field up. So yeah, it's another benefit of spraying that strip off. Yeah, when we're opening a field up, we can't get right round the field, so then we have to put a little cutout in just there, for trailers to get in. So I've done that. There's Derek just coming under me. So I'll tip my tank full and then yeah, we'll get on our way again. Well, we've just got back cutting spring barley again tonight. We've dropped off the wheat for the time being, just because this bit's really fit, and it's just opposite where we're cutting wheat in a block of land, so we're doing it now. But it's going well. It's on land where we ripped some oilseed rape up, and it's yielding about 3 tonne an acre, or a bit more in places. It's it's good. Plenty of dust this evening on this barley. You can see yielding quite well there. But yeah, those barley, the heads are starting to neck over now, so yeah, it wants cutting. But this is where the Convio flex bed really comes into its own. In barley, you can get real low down. I don't know if you can see, well, you'll not see from here, but I can assure you, you can get down to about 2 inches of stubble, which is low. This is what it lives for, this header, just hoovering it up. Yeah, it's not leaving any down there as far as I can see. Yeah, it's on the deck. Brilliant bit of kit. All these flexible headers are. Look at that. Nothing there. Yeah. It makes the combine, or any combine, the header does. Meanwhile, Georgie's still flat out drilling cover crops for FSI and some stewardship schemes we've got running. Anyway, showing you a bit about what we're doing. This is the mix he's actually drilling. You have a look at the label, you'll see what's in it. All sorts. Good coverage. Yeah, we're certainly getting the use out of the Heaver Stealth low disturbance subsoiler and the Opcomb multi-seeder what's fitted to it. It's proven invaluable for this job. As you can see in the hopper, the seeds are really small, so it's really suited to it. Anyway, he's pressing on now, but there's still quite a lot of fields left to drill, but we haven't cleared them all yet. There's some with crops on still, but we're working on it. We'll get there in the end. Got the field done. Now we're off on a bit of a road trip. We're off back to Melton to cut some spring barley there. Well, we've arrived at Elsham. There's 75-80 acres in this block here. Got 3 trailers on. They're running it back to Risby. Well, we're into our last 200 acres of spring barley and a little bit of winter wheat left now. We're still at Melton cutting inside the woods on some real light sandy land. As you can can see, of all the bracken. Very acidic land down here, in between the trees. Yeah, get this block done here. Then we're flitting back to Risby. Then we've got a couple of fields of winter wheat there, and one late field of spring barley, but I don't think it's not ready just yet. And then we'll be coming back for 1, 2, 3, 4 more fields of spring barley here at Melton next week, probably sometime, depending on weather. And then we've just got the spring beans to cut, which is between about 90 acres worth, something like that. So we're not long that we'll be waiting for them a bit, but yeah, we'll be able to get on doing some other things. So yeah, it's going well really. Anyway, so far they're keeping me going, but well, there's some wind on today. It's blowing straw everywhere. I'm chopping, but yeah, it's blowing a hoolie. Dave's on the road still, so yeah, soon have this field finished. It's not very big. Well, we had a bit of a change of plan yesterday. We cut more fields at Melton than what we was going to do. We've still got to come back for another one what ain't fit and a bit, but otherwise of that, we've got all the spring barley wiped up. So now we're just going to flip back to Risby, ready to do that. But that'll not be today because it rained in the night. So yeah, and anyway, let it ripen a bit longer. So. Well, we've arrived back at Risby. That didn't take long, did it? Now we're just going to diesel up now. We're about empty after being at Melton, so we'll get her fueled up and ready to go again. Well, just got her filled up. What will be paying for that? That's 1,101 litres has gone in the tank. That's a fair bit of money's worth. Yeah, the tank, if you're chopping straw, you've got to fill up every day. But if you're not chopping straw, you nearly get away with 2 days, depending on how long your days are. Yeah, because when I haven't been chopping straw, my engine power has only been about 50 or 60%, but so it's not using too much fuel. But when you engage that chopper, you start pulling some diesel through, and then you're on your limits of your engine often. You're at full power, 100% or 105%, which is about maximum, I believe, when you're unloading. So yeah, but anyway, we don't tend to chop too much. We tend to get baled and in exchange for mushroom compost. Well, I've just acquired myself a new toy. I've got myself a drone. I'm hoping it'll enhance my videos. Anyway, please let me know in the comments box below if you think it has. But anyway, here's Derek. He's working some SFI land at Melton with the SLD and Challenger, and this is getting it ready for George to drill into. He's mixing the stubble up and straw, because we chopped the straw here rather than baling it because we want it to be on. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video footage and enjoy. having to eat. It's not the best of pieces in places, but yeah, like you can see on the window, it's spitting with rain, so we'll have to see whether we get this field finished or not tonight. Doesn't look too clever. Somebody asked me in the comments last week if I would just show them around the combine what the daily servicing routine was that I carry out. So yeah, I'll do that now. So yeah, as you can see in the background, the day starts off blowing down. That's the first job of the day. We blow all the combine down, as I mentioned in an early video, to stop it build up of chaff and straw and weed seeds and that, and to give it a good clean. So it's good for the day, so especially for fire hazard risk. Obviously you've got a fold away access step, so it climbs up onto the engine bay. So press that, pull that, slide that, gives you access along the walkway. And you've got your diesel filler there, your AdBlue. So yeah, it's all good. And to get access to the engine bay, lift up flap. There's the engine. As you can see, starting to get a build up of dust on it, which isn't healthy for fire risk. So yeah, first job, you've got to dip the engine oil, which is there, which I've already done before, so it's well in. There's plenty on it up to maximum. Put it in. Hydraulic level there, yeah, maximum. And then obviously you're checking your water levels in your header tank. Yeah, that's showing to me, well, you maybe can't see it, but it is showing that it's full. So yeah, that's all good. We always blow the radiator out every day. It says you don't have to, but I just like to give it a blast. It's good hygiene. It's got a rotary screen on top. It sucks air down onto here, and there's a brush on this screen to keep any chaff off, and then it sucks the air through the radiators, the air conditioning units and the oil cooler and air conditioning unit, through the radiators, down, and there's a big fan underneath here. Well, you can see it. Yeah, and it sucks it, then blows it out all under the combine, and it blows it out through these vents here, through the vents, to keep the whole thing cool. And it keeps remarkably clean. It's not that mucky. See, the middle one doesn't get too bad, but yeah, you get some build up on here. So I just like to give that a quick blowout when I do the engine. So yeah, it well thought out. And then you've got your air cleaner. I usually clean that out every 2 days, even though people say, or the manual says, do not do it till the light comes on. But it's too late then, so I like just to give that a blowout with a compressor every day, or every 2 days, sorry, and then it's good, and it lasts all season. After we've checked the engine over, before we start blowing down, I go round and open up all the guards on that special spanner. That it's got a Allen key fitting in it to go in there, so you carry that with you. Guard lifts up to give you access, and there's more guards to take off here, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll take them off, then I'll show you. Yeah, got all the guards open now, so we're good to go. Give it a good blow down. As you can see, this isn't from a particularly long day, but look at the build up of dust and chaff. So anyway, we'll give it a good blow down, and then we can have a look round, then see where the maintenance points are. Yeah, look at it all. Yeah, all the weed seeds could be hanging in the straw as it comes out, so all that's got to be blown down. Yeah, right, we'll get on with it. As you'll see, once you've blown down, you have a nice clean environment in which to have a look round, see if there's any belts, what look like the chafing, so you can spot any defects. It's a good chance just to have a steady walk round, have a look, and then As far as grease nipples go, there isn't any 10-hour ones on the machine. In the old days, you used to get loads of grease nipples, especially 10-hour ones. You'd have to go around every day. But these modern combines, they're banked together now, and they have stickers on them. You'll probably see that, and that's saying 50 hours. So there's like 4 nipples on there, and there's five on there, and there's 2 on there. The next one, where I find it? Oh, it's there. So yeah, and they're only done every 50 hours, and you have a counter on the combine which counts the hours you're clocking, so it flashes up on the dashboard when it's due for a service. But too much grease can be as bad as too little, so you mustn't really do them any more regular than 50 hours, otherwise you'll start blowing the seals in the bearings. But yeah, basically, yeah, the chains, give them some oil. There now, they go 50 hours for a splash. Check the tension. I check the tension daily. But yeah, there's not a lot to do it. The blowing down takes the longest part of it. Oh, if you need any belts adjusting, there are simple adjusters on here. They're on spring tensioners. And what you've got to do is just make sure they're overlapping or touching. They can overlap by 5 to 10 millimeters. And it's quick visual inspection that. You know that all the belts are tensioned correctly. Otherwise they'd slip if they come slack. But yeah, it's a quick walk round, visual check. Nothing else really. The belts very rarely need tensioning, so yeah. That's basically all there is to do. I'll put the guards back on, and yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, all nice and clean around this side as well. Same sort of thing, belt tensioners. Yeah, most importantly, it's all free of any grass seeds. We're giving it a big blown down, so you're not contaminating another field, because we are actually moving fields this morning. So if there's any black grass seeds on it or grass seeds, they're all gone, blown off now, so it's clean, ready to move. Yeah, the only grease nipples I grease daily are these, which was recommended by class. They're meant to be 100 hours, but a couple of pumps in them every day, as they're easier than a new bearing, and it seems to be working. Also, most days I take this, undo this plate. It catches soil or any bits of corn from the belting above. I'll show you what I mean. And it can, in excessive conditions, it can cause belt slippage if it gets a lot of soil in it. So I usually try to check that once a day. Yeah, that's it undone. It's on a hinge. That's the underside of the belt. As you can see, you get bits of stuff sticking to it which can drag on the belt. So I clean that out normally every day. Also, belt tensioners on the combine. All you do, where are we? That washer there wants to be in the middle where the green is. As long as it's on the green, it's safe. And all you do is wind that up, take the tension off and wind it up. Very simple adjustment. Same the other side. And the outer belts, they have a similar adjustment. They're the same. They want to be on that arrow, and all you do is pull that lever out to take the tension off the belts. Very simple adjustment, well thought out. Safety is also very important when emptying them trapdoors under the bed, like I've just shown you. So yeah, got to make sure the ram stops are underneath in case of a hydraulic hose failure and the bed drops down suddenly. Another daily check is just to walk along the knife sections, ensuring that there's no broken ones. Just make sure everything's how it should be for a day's cutting. That's all seems to be okay, so that's good. There is no grease nipples on these modern combines. on the end of the knife like they used to be on the old ones in the old days, so that's a plus. Plus the grease nipples on the reel, they're only every 100 hour, or I sometimes do them with a squirt at 50 hours, but on the old combines that would have to be done every day. Yeah, you can see actually the cooling fan up here. Zoom in on it. Yeah, the design of the fan, how it sucks the clean air off the top of the combine and then it blasts it down through the bottom. It actually keeps the engine bay clean and helps keep the rest of the combine clean. So yeah, it's doing an important job. Also on the combine there, besides the 50-hour grease nipples, there's the 100 ones which I showed you on the combine bed. These are on lesser used parts, like this is on the axle suspension, rear axle. And then there's even 500 one, or once a season, which get done. Yeah, on the rear axle, the kingpins, they're only 500 hours once a season. So yeah, they get done in order. And there is some intermediate ones as well. There's 250-hour ones, but yeah, they're, there's one of them. There's one on here, I think. There's one on the chopper. Can't see it, but anyway, the chopper bearings, they're only once a year. They're only 250 hours. Yeah, can't see it. But one helpful thing Claas do, they're probably saying the manufacturers, they have stickers on the side and it tells you where all the grease nipples are on the machine and how many hours. And this applies to your machine. So yeah, so you look at them. But I always do something else as well. I always take in the manual, there's the book, there's all the service intervals, and they have pictures, black and white pictures of all where the grease nipples are, and I find that easier to look at, so I'll just show you them, what I've done with them. Yeah, this is what I do with them. These are on the 50-hour ones, and I copy the page out the manual and then laminate them, so you've got the exact thing, so it shows up more detailed than them other photographs where different things are. They're the 50-hour ones. 100 hours, yeah, on the 100 hours you see on the tracks there's a lot of nipples, but yeah, I find this works well it does for me. The 250-hour ones, and it doesn't matter if you touch them with gloves on, with oily fingers, because they stay clean. You just wipe them. So when I've been round and serviced up, one service, we get that page, and it tells me 10-hour maintenance in 3 hours. 50 hours, I've got 43 hours to go before I need to do it, and 100 for that. And maintenance at 250, I've gone over it by 1 hour, and it actually flags up an alert on the screen, and that'll flash up for 10, 50, 100. So yeah, so every day when I've been round serviced up, I tap on the 10-hour ones, and it tells you what about checking and all this and that. It tells you what to do basically. It's pretty good. You just read off what you've got to do, but half of that doesn't apply. So anyway, do you want to reset? So I always reset that every day, and then when we go off that, we're back to 10 hours and it counts down backwards. So yeah, you always get told when it's ready for servicing, so there's no excuses. Yeah, that's it then. That's the daily maintenance regime. Every day we're combining. Yeah, it's all blown down, ready to go, all adjusted up. Might want a bit of dieseling, which I'll put some in if it needs it, as I explained earlier on. Add blue. It'll go quite a few days before we put any add blue in it, so that's not a big issue. But yeah, hope that shows you what we do every day. Yeah, you get used to it after a few weeks of combining. You get into a routine, which is important, especially when you're tired. Well, we're in the last field of spring barley. Nearly finished. We cleaned up the last field at Melton yesterday after after being rained off in that wheat field the other night. So we've got this field to finish, and then about 8 hectares in that wheat field, and then we're done. Well, we got the last field of spring barley done, just over there. Now we're back in this field where we got rained off the other night. Plenty of dust now. We're on for a finish. Fingers crossed. Well, this is it. The end of harvest, or the cereals harvest anyway, 2024. Just the beans to do. About 85, 90 acres, somewhere down there. Nice little bit. That's it, finished. Well, on that note, that's it for this week's edition of Video Diary on the Farm. Hope you enjoyed the content. It's been a bit longer one than what normally, but I wanted to make sure we got all of harvesting this week on this week's video, so I left it as late as possible to finish it off. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you have enjoyed it, please hit that like, share and subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch you again next week.